to another episode of Monday Re Tsene with wellbeing. The topic today is the mental well-being of parents with children with disabilities. I am Dr. Morani, a speech-language pathologist that specializes in the field of severe disability. So I'm constantly in contact with children and parents with neurodevelopmental conditions such as autism and cerebral palsy. So globally and also locally, we've seen an increase in the diagnosis and identification of children with autism. And also specific to South Africa, we're seeing a high prevalence of cerebral palsy. So these children are considered children that present with severe disability, as they may present with multiple impairments in different developmental areas, and therefore may require support in development and also caregiving needs. So caring for a child with disability imposes a high level of stress and also anxiety in most caregivers. So research has also indicated that parents that are caring for children with disabilities are more likely to experience mental health challenges such as depression and anxiety. So the mental well-being of caregivers with children with disabilities is a critical and very complex issue. So I would like us to go into the different factors that may impact the mental well-being of parents with such children. So firstly, parents experience high level of stress and difficulty in coping with caregiving for their children with a disability. So as we know, parents may be solely responsible for managing all caregiving needs of their child with a disability. So this may include bathing them, feeding them, and also their general care. So also parents, as a result of their child's sort of disability, may be required to see multiple healthcare professionals, such as different specialists and also therapists. Therapists such as myself, a speech therapist, occupational therapist, physiotherapist, and dietetics. So this means they have to navigate all these multiple appointments and also make sense of the information that they receive from these different healthcare professionals, which can be very overwhelming and makes it very difficult for the parents to sort of cope. So the second factor may be related to experiencing social isolation, as parents with children with disabilities are often focused on the caregiving needs of their children. They may limit the social interaction and also social activities that they used to engage with. So this means that they isolate themselves from the general community, maybe from their friends, maybe from their family. So the isolation may lead to feelings of loneliness and depression. And we do know that children with disabilities, some may require quite specialized care, which parents may believe that other people other than themselves may not be able to fully understand, and therefore seeking for help or support may also be difficult. So moving on to another factor is the impact of financial strain, as caring for a child with a disability comes with associated costs. So we've spoken about consultation with the different medical or healthcare professionals, the different specialists, the different therapies. So this can be quite costly, and currently our healthcare system is not fully or adequately resourced to offer the services that a lot of children with disabilities require, such as services of rehabilitation professionals, the speech therapist, and also assistive technology and devices that they may require, such as wheelchairs, hearing aids, communication devices, and so forth. And most importantly, we're looking at the emotional impact of caring for a child with a disability. So parents may experience a wide range of emotions following their child's sort of diagnosis or realization of a presence of a disability. So they may feel angry, guilty, frustrated, and also be in a state of denial. So they may feel as well, they may grieve for that ideal child that they sort of envisioned, and also grapple with um, the understanding of what is that child's sort of future outcomes. They may feel guilty that they have done something or they didn't do something that would have helped with sort of preventing that child presenting with a disability. They may also be angry at God. Why them? Because they've prayed, they've sort of trusted Him in the process, and here they're sitting with the challenge of caring for a child with a disability. And the frustration comes, for instance, for children with autism, where in the initial stages, before the parents fully understand it, that they're dealing with hyperactivity, meltdowns and tantrums, feeding difficulties, poor sleeping patterns. And it's even more frustrating for parents when they seek for support and help from professionals such as myself, that the remediation or the strategies that are suggested don't offer immediate sort of relief. And of course, we're looking at how caring for a child with a disability also impacts sort of the general functioning of a family, and therefore it sort of impacts on the relationship, whether between husband and wife or between both parents. I've seen in my experience where parents have separated due to having differing views about the child's sort of condition, differing understanding about the type of intervention that the child requires. One partner might be in denial about the child's condition and may therefore hinder sort of the intervention process from starting. And also finances plays a huge role, not forgetting the other children or siblings that are within the home. Because of the child with special needs, the parents may sort of focus all of their energy, time and resources on that child with special needs, neglecting sort of the emotions and the well-being of the other children in the house. So now that we've discussed the different factors, let's now consider or look at potential sort of coping strategies that we can put in place. So one of the things that I always say to parents, firstly, is to understand that the child with a disability is not an anomaly, but is a differently able child. So they bring forth different skills and also different gifts. And the mental well-being of parents may be impacted in a different way, depending on the severity and the type of disability that the child may be presenting with. One child might be able to feed themselves and go to the toilet by themselves, while another child might be on a wheelchair and not be able to feed themselves. And also the resources and support system that's also in place within the different family structures also plays a role. And most importantly, the resilience of each family. So one of the first things that I always suggest to parents upon them understanding or hearing about their child's condition is to take time to seek information or to conduct research on the diagnosis or the disability that the child present with. When we diagnose, the aim is not to label the child, but the aim is for us to understand what are the characteristics of that disability, what are the measures that we need to put in place in order for the child to develop and learn in a way that does not have obstacles. And also we also want to understand how to better support a child who's unique and not the same as other children. So different organizations, that disability related organizations, are a good place to start, such as Autism South Africa and Down Syndrome South Africa, United Cerebral Palsy Association of South Africa, where these organizations offer support in terms of coping strategies, information about the disability, available support groups for parents, a list of reputable healthcare professionals that have the knowledge and skills to support you and your child with a disability, and most importantly, to learn about how to apply for social grants and tax-related information. Secondly, which is most important, is to seek professional support from mental health professionals such as psychologists, who will better be able to guide and help you manage the emotions that come with parenting a child with a disability, and to dealing with all those emotions that we previously mentioned, and also to draw up different coping strategies on how to maintain a balance between caring for your child with a disability and also caring for other children within the home, and also managing your marriage or the relationships between your partners. And lastly, it's important to prioritize self-care in order that you need to know that you need not to devote all the time to caregiving duties, but also to take time doing activities that give you relief, relaxation, and peace of mind. And to remember that seeking support from other mothers with children with disabilities is the best form of understanding how to cope parenting a child with disabilities. So they can give practical and much more comprehensive sort of strategies on how to manage on a day-to-day your child with disability. Thank you for joining me on this session. I'll see you in the next one.